Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of MLB The Show 24. I am Gladys the Baker, running the Tampa Bay franchise, hopefully not into the ground. We start off today 28-25 in the midst of a three-game series with Kansas City, which we will sim here with Jeffrey Springs getting the start, and it is a loss, a series lost. And let's see, Josh Lowe 2 for 4, Diaz 2 for 4, and Siri 3 for 4. Good days for some of the guys. 2 actual bombs for Jose Siri, yeah. Springs had a good game, but then Civale, another Civale bad day. Only 1 out, but 3 earned runs come across. And I don't know what's been going on with him. As you see, his attributes, they are, for the most part, pretty good. But his performance has really been slacking this year. And I want to highlight just how much. A 5.67 ERA over 39.2 innings. And let's look at the extended numbers here. Somehow, he is still a positive WAR player at 0.3. I'm highlighting the K per 9, walks per 9, home runs per 9, and fielding independent pitching. All of them look to be career worst as we progress forward. So I don't know what we're doing with Civale, but something's got to be done. The first order of business as we look to move on from Civale would be to add him to the trade block, which I am doing now. So hopefully we can get something good for him. Meanwhile, we'll return to baseball with a 3-game home stretch versus Oakland. They are 18-37, and Zach Littell gets the start, but no, another injury. Evan Edwards, 5 to 6 months. How many can we rack up? This is crazy now. Wow, we do take a huge blowout, 10-0 versus Oakland. And nearly everybody into the mix there. Izak with a great 4 RBI day off of 3 hits. We had, 2 home runs from Izak, Brandon Lau, and Jose Siri, all home runs. Rosarena stole another base. And Zach Littell with a complete game shutout. Only 6 hits allowed. Phenomenal. Let's move on to game 2, where it's Shane McClanahan versus Alex Wood. And that is a 6-1 victory, so a series win already. Brandon Lau with a home run and 3 RBIs on the day. Doubles from Hampson and Lowe. Stolen bases by Rosarena again, and Izak this time. Fantastic game by McClanahan, and Phil Maton continues to be the man, with Clevenger cleaning up the very end of it, and not a safe situation, of course. Zach Eflin gets the nod in game 3, and that is a reverse 1-6 loss. Garrett Hampson does go yard today, but he was the lone bright spot pretty much. No offense to speak of other than that. Brandon Lau with a rare error there. Zach Eflin had a pretty tough game over 5 innings. Civale finally had a decent outing himself. And we will go to Baltimore, where we will be going against Corbin Burns in game 1. Got to see what happens here, and we will start off with Hampson singling. And with that speed, you know I'm going to try to steal. He's caught! They got him. Oh, he's toast at second. So Diaz will fly out. Isaac Paredes behind him will strike out, and that's 3. How does Taj's day start? Well, versus Cedric Mullins, he gives up a double immediately. Jordan Westberg will double behind him and drive him in. So now, 1 across already. Rutsch sacrifice bunts to advance the runner. Santander strikes out, and it's Gunnar up to bat. I will pitch around, and that will cause a fly out. We move forward to the bottom of the 3rd, where Mountcastle flies out, Cedric Mullins grounds out, and Jordan Westberg will smash a solo home run to improve 2 for 2 on the day. Rutsch will get out. Top of the 4th, we'll see Yandy leading off with a double. And we've got to make something happen here. Izak behind him will fly out. And Brandon Lau, who's been so good for us this year, we've got to take a look. It's 2-2. Man in scoring position. 1 out. Burns delivers. And that's a swing and a miss. Lau is out. So 2 out now. Still the man in scoring position. And a Rosarena will now inherit this chance. It is 2-0 now. And a Rosarena lifts that to left field, but ultimately that is a routine out number 3. Unfortunate. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th now. Taj is recovered quite a bit. Will lead off against Santander, who, no, it's a solo Tony Tater. Man, we just have not had the luck today. Gunnar Henderson will fly out behind him. Austin Hayes due up now will fly out as well. And then Ryan O'Hearn will be the final out of the inning. At the top of the fifth, Josh Lowe will get a single to lead off. You see the speed, you know it's coming. And we do. We snag second base. Ahmed Rosario will strike out, and then Jose Siri steps to the plate. And he will ground out. Bit of a delay there. I didn't expect that, actually. Francisco Mejia will single, and we've got men on the corners now for Garrett Hampson, who will squander that opportunity. Ramon Urias will strike out in the fifth against Taj, who is still going strong despite the home runs. Mountcastle strikes out behind him. Mullins is on base again with a single, and Jordan Westberg will single as well. So now, getting into the middle to late innings, we've got to take a look at Taj in the flesh. Chance of MVP for Rutman, who's only averaging 204 with runners in scoring position. So it's 0-1 versus Adley. Taj delivers, and Rutman crushes it deep to right center field, a 3-run blast. And Baltimore is making themselves known. A fantastic home game for them, and that is number 6 on the year for Adley. We are in an even deeper hole now. Baltimore does indeed love Adley Rutman. Wow. So Taj is definitely coming out. Here comes Dad to let him know officially. Overall, he was doing fine after a couple of those home runs, but yeah, you can't give up a 3-run bomb in the fifth and expect to continue. That being said, we are rolling the dice, and Aaron Civale is coming in. I think the PA announcer said Civale, confirming my pronunciation, but I'm not positive. Hard to kind of tell. So what does Civale do now? We're up, or rather down by 6. He gets the final out of the inning, so at least no drama there. Yandy Diaz with a solo home run himself to finally put us on the board. Isaac will take a free walk over to first, and Brandon Lau will clear the bases with a double play. Rosarena will make it to second to extend the top of the 6th, and then there's an out. So Civale again due up. He will hit Gunnar Henderson to put him on first. Austin Hayes will fly out, and then Ryan O'Hearn will pop up. So 2 out now with Henderson on base still, and Urias will pop out for the final out of the half inning. Ahmed Rosario will pop up to start the top of the 7th. Burns still going strong, but Jose Siri with a triple. That is nice to see. Mejia at bat will double and drive in Siri. So a little bit of life showing, and Garrett Hampson is up now. He's had some incredible moments since joining this roster, and I want to see if we can get one more. And that is a bunt attempt, but no, it catches too much air and is caught from first base. Mountcastle able to snag that. So still a runner in scoring position, 2 outs, and Yandy Diaz will drive that to center field for the final out of the inning, and we squander another base runner. Aaron Civale remains in the bottom of the 7th, and Mountcastle will start it off with a single. Cedric Mullins, 2 for 3 on the day, will walk to first. So now Civale has started off the bottom of the 7th in deep crap. Jordan Westberg will advance to 4 for 4 on the day with a double, driving in 2 more, and Civale comes out. Another disastrous outing. Sean Armstrong will be the replacement. Rutman promptly flies out. A ground out from Santander, which does not advance Westberg, and we will pitch around Gunnar Henderson and walk him in order to have the matchup versus Austin Hayes. Armstrong gets out of it. Corbin Burns still here. Top of the 8th. Paredes walks to first. Brandon Lau will fly out, and Rosarena will strike out. And it'll come down to Josh Lowe. And he will single to put runners in scoring positions. We are stealing second. Yes, we are. Josh with another stolen base. Love the speed and stealing skills. So 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. We are down by 6. Very little hope here, but Ahmed Rosario will step to the plate and try to get something done for us. A foul ball will even it at 1-1. How far can Burns go? That was pitch number 100. One of my favorite pitchers for Baltimore. Unfortunately, we're on the receiving end of a fantastic outing. Rosario will get that almost through into center field. It's stopped by Gunnar Henderson with quick reactions, but that is an infield RBI single. 3-8 now. Runners on the corners, and Dylan Tate is going to be the replacement. Will step in 3-1 against Jose Siri. And that is a walk. Siri with good discipline there to hold back from the outside pitch. Bases loaded now for Francisco Mejia. Or Mejia. Man, I just can't decide. Either way, he will line drive-ish, ground out to second. That was hard hit, but Tate gets out and bailed from the bases loaded situation. Ultimately, we do continue to lose 8-3 with 12 hits and 3 walks on the day. Pretty good offense, but pitching was just disastrous. Taj Bradley let through 6 through 4 2/3. Aaron Civale let through 2. And Armstrong looks good. So game 1 does not go in our favor. Game 2 is Jeffrey Springs versus Kyle Bradish. And that is a loss as well. 4-8. We had 7 hits and 2 walks. Good day for Yandy and Izak, but not much else happening there. Jeffrey Springs let through 6 with 11 hits as well. Civale later in the game let up another run, but we get more good innings out of Armstrong. I just don't know what to do with Civale at this point. This is bad. He's been on the trade block now for just a few days, but I don't know, man. Something's got to give. I thought for a minute about initiating a trade of my own, but then I'm like, wait a second. We've got stuff going on in-house. Drew Rasmussen, for some reason, when I started this, was in AAA, and he is higher rated, doing fantastic in AAA right now. This guy is a major league caliber pitcher. He does not deserve to be down in AAA. So the easy move now, instead of waiting on a trade, possibly losing positions or downgrading, I think we just call up Rasmussen. 84 innings pitched, 1.5 ERA, and a sub-1 whip. I mean, he's dominating. That's ace status right there. Now, it is, of course, AAA competition, but still, that bodes very well. He's overall rating is 83, so yeah, I think this is the move now, and I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier, but Civale's going to go down to triple, and Drew Rasmussen is going to come up. That being said, it's Scout Day, and David King, Roberto Duarte, and Steve Vergara have gotten progress. Let's get our reminder. The first look, which I am changing the verbiage here to first look instead of first week. For David King, he looked very promising in contact, vision, and discipline, and defense. And he still remains looking pretty good. He's a great shortstop who can also play second and third and looks very promising. Draft rank MLB 66. The first look for Roberto Duarte looked even more promising and well balanced. No real weaknesses here in the first look at catcher. And with the second look, it actually looks to have come up a little bit in most of these categories. He will have a very, very strong start if we choose to draft him. First look today for Steve Vergara looked like this at starting pitcher. He looked great. His overall was 61-80, which is a phenomenal start for a draft pick. And he will actually improve from the bottom up to 62, but drop more to a 76 overall. Still a possibility, but less likely at the moment. So week 9, we'll see Beckett Odell, Tino Saenz, and Luis Marin. Or maybe Lewis Marin. I'm not sure on that pronunciation either. I don't know. Let's take a closer look anyways. Beckett Odell, a fellow Florida man for me, looks to be mostly offensive based, but he is a competent defender with good reaction time at third base. Tino Saenz, I don't know, but amazing contact and vision. Look for a high average there. Luis Marin, I'm going to say Luis, that's going to be it. He looks very well balanced, all over the place. Hits is his only little low category, but we'll get more progress later. So off of the back of 2 losses to the Orioles, we are behind them now, ranked 3rd in the division. And Game 3 is another loss. We end up getting swept by division rivals Baltimore. And in this game, we had 11 hits and only 1 walk. A good day for Garrett Hampson, going 3 for 5. Ramirez going 2 for 3 with a walk as well. Stolen base for Josh Lowe. And Littell got bombed, and that's not good. But Rasmussen had 2 2/3 clean innings in his debut. That's awesome. We will move over to Miami with McClanahan starting, and another injury update. Nico Holsizer out for 1 to 2 weeks with an MCL sprain, and another one, Logan Driscoll, 2 to 3 months with a broken arm. Somebody call an ambulance. I've had enough. And it's a loss as well. It's just bad news everywhere. So Miami takes game 1, 4 to 2. We only have 5 hits with 3 walks allowed. Garrett Hampson has a double and a home run. Brandon Lau and Randy Arozarena stealing more bases. And McClanahan does not have a good start, but Rasmussen puts in more work, and Phil Maton remains clean. Wow, can we at least split this series? Come on, Zach Eflin versus Sandy Alcantara, who looks phenomenal so far. And that is indeed a win, 5 to 3. We at least limp through into the second game. Garrett Hampson with another home run. That is awesome. Yandy goes 3 for 5. Rosario goes 2 for 3. Another stolen base for Brandon Lau and Josh Lowe. A good game from Eflin with excellent relief from Kelly, Clevenger, Adam, and Fairbanks. And look, it's back to Baltimore, except we're hosting them this time. Taj will get the first start versus John Means. And another injury update. My gosh, Ahmed Rosario with a broken arm, 1 to 2 months. How many is that now? Jeez. And it's another loss to Baltimore. Hopefully this is not a sign of how this series is going to go. We've got 11 hits, 2 walks. Garrett Hampson went 2 for 4 on the day. We had a triple by Arozarena. Taj does not have a good game. Rasmussen finally gets some earned runs against him. And that's another loss. Unbelievable. Garrett Hampson, leading off, has done very well at 294 with his average. And I want to see what's going on the bench here. Palacios is going to come in, I think, to replace Rosario. It's just a DH spot, so I don't need much for defense. And he's got decent power, but with really good vision. But now we need another bench player. And I think it's going to be Yu Chang. His attributes look really good. And in AAA, he's been slashing a 293 line. So that looks really good. He's got an option as well. Slugging up to 464 for an OPS of 840. I think that Yu Chang is going to be the guy. He plays all of the infield. He's 28 years old, and now or never, pretty much, is what that means. So with an option left, I think it's safe to go ahead and bring him up and see how he fares versus Major League competition. So Yu Chang, welcome to the MLB roster. So Game 2, we'll see Jeffrey Springs, who's been phenomenal for us, versus Grayson Rodriguez, who is struggling in this series. And we finally take a victory versus Baltimore. It's 5 to 3. We had 8 hits and only 1 walk, but we had 4 home runs. Lau, Arozarena, Lowe, twice. Wow, love to see the power showing for Lau. Jeffrey Springs with a quality start, 6 innings pitched with 3 earned runs and great relief behind him. Fairbanks picks up save number 15. That being said, it's Scout Day, so let's remind you very quickly. Beckett Odell looked phenomenal offensively. Does that continue at third base for him? Well, our second look will mostly confirm it. The overall and potential has dropped. He might actually have a higher overall than potential, period. It's almost assured. First look for Tino Saenz. I'm going to say it's Saenz. He looked very good for contact and vision and okay everywhere else. In the second look, he still looks very good. Actually, even better for contact on some of these numbers. So, primarily a contact first, second baseman. Not sure where he fits. First look for Luis Marin showed balance everywhere with maybe a slight worrying stat with hits per 9. But for our second look, he seems to have evened out a little bit more. Still balanced everywhere. Hits per 9 looks a little better, and maybe there is a place for Marin in our rotation. With the scouting recap concluded, we were switching to region scouting. 2 of them in the Western region for starting pitchers and 1 in the Western region for catcher. We are 32-32, back at 500 baseball off the back of a win versus Baltimore. And game 3 is a win as well. And okay, that's just a few days. That's fine. Jeez, man, these injuries are scaring me now. We take game 3, and that is off of 8 hits and 2 walks. A homer from Isaac Paredes, Josh Lowe with a double, as well as Jose Siri getting one himself. Josh with another stolen base. This is like almost every game we've looked at. Great game by Littell, Maton, and Fairbanks for save number 16. And we have taken the last 2 versus Baltimore. Can we take the series with Shane McClanahan getting the start? Yes, we can. 5-1. So a little bit of payback. We win 3 out of 4. We've got 6 hits and 4 walks on the board today. Garrett Hampson going 2 for 3 with a walk. That is phenomenal. And wow, just the offense is really firing now. Josh with another stolen base. It is definitely almost every game. McClanahan and Clevenger will pair up to get the win pitching-wise. So we went 3 for 4 against division rivals Baltimore and move to host Chicago Cubs. Zach Eflin will get the first start versus Javier Assad. Can we stick above 500? And okay, no longer injured. Yes, that's another victory. 5-2 this time. And we get 10 hits, 4 walks. Yu Chang will get his first major league hit. Down to the bottom of the order, he went 1 for 3 today. That's awesome. And Yandy with a home run. Stolen base for Josh Lowe, Garrett Hampson, Arozarena, and Palacios. And pitching did very well again. Feels like everything is clicking. So we are now tied with the Orioles, 35-32. I want to see the All-Star voting. This is something that we have not looked at yet, but I'm curious. With the offense really starting to come together and pitching doing well, here we are. All-Star votes are in for relief pitcher Phil Maton and Kevin Kelly, the top 2 relievers in the American League right now. That is phenomenal, and I am so happy to see it. Wow. So 2 relievers at the top. At first base, we do have Yandy. He is in the 4th voting rank right now with 356,000 votes, but he's doing very well, batting .333 right now. At second base, we've got Brandon Lau also in first place with 357,000 votes. He is averaging .289 with 45 RBIs. That's awesome. At shortstop, where are we? I see Gunner, and there he is, Garrett Hampson. 320,000 votes, only 2 behind Jeremy Pena, but he's averaging .297 right now. With more playtime, he'd probably be higher on the list. At left field, we've got Arozarena, only 24,000 votes behind Masataka Yoshida. And Arozarena is averaging .257 right now with 40 RBIs. That's awesome. In right field, who do we've got? You know it's going to be Josh Lowe. 365,000 votes. He is very close to cracking the top 5. He's got 19 stolen bases as well, batting .288. Remember I was concerned about him? Yeah, never mind. So that is it for the All-Star voting pretty much, but with 19 stolen bases, he's got to be near the top. I want to look at some league leaders now. For batting average, Yandy is the 4th best contact, or rather average hitter at .333. And for hits, he is also on this list at number 6 with 78 hits. Excellent offensive output from him. Arozarena tied for 4th with doubles. He's got 19 of them, only 3 away from the top. And we'll move to triples. Who's got that? It's Siri tied for 2nd with 5. Josh Lowe right behind him with 4. That's pretty cool. Did not expect Siri to have 5 triples. For home runs, we've got to have somebody. There he is. Brandon Lau tied for 9th with 15 home runs. That is unexpected for me. I did not expect to see Lau up there. He is also our RBI leader to this point with 45 RBIs driven in. And for stolen bases, Josh Lowe is leading the American League with 19. Wow. That is phenomenal. He doesn't have the best speed, and his stealing rating is not even maxed out. Neither is the base running aggressiveness. But man, what a resurgence for Josh Lowe from the beginning of the year. 288, 340, and 472 is his slash line, and that's just crazy. I want to take a look at his Baseball Savant page. This is the extended stats. He is averaging, let's take a closer look. Yeah, 262 for his career. It looks like 23 was his best year offensively. We had 32 stolen bases. I think we might be able to pass that this year. His MLB percentile rankings are really not good for running. His running value is very low. It's well below average, but somehow in this series he's doing it. He's putting it all together. In the National League, Bryce Terang is leading with 20 stolen bases, only one ahead of Josh. Let's see if we can get some more, huh? Taj Bradley will get the start in Game 2, and wow, Civale even gets an injury, and that is a 3-14 loss. What happened? We got 6 hits with 6 walks, and that's really it. What's the story of the pitching, though? Oh my gosh, we got to scroll down and see what happened. So Taj gets 7 earned runs over 3 1/3. Drew Rasmussen gets touched up. Sean Armstrong, rarely, he gets touched up. And yeah, just everybody got hurt. That was everybody. A total collapse of pitching. Let's see if Jeffrey Springs can turn it around in Game 3. But first, the Dodgers are interested in a trade offer. And they want Civale. Finally, somebody picks up an option here from the trade block, and they're looking to trade Dustin May, who has been struggling this year. He's got A potential, 79 overall, but a 5.33 ERA. He's got decent attributes. I don't feel like he should be performing that low. But there might be some legs to a trade like this. At 26 years old, he's got room to grow. But do we want to take the time to develop him? He's only got one more year of arbitration. And we know Civale's not working out. I think it's time to call it on that experiment. But Dustin May, that's interesting. Civale's attributes look better at this point with an 81 overall, but he is 28 years old with a lower potential and performing nearly identically bad. They both have an over 5 ERA, but I don't know. With Dustin May being younger, maybe. I'm thinking. I can't change anything on the trade because their budget, but you know what? I think that right now with Civale and where we're at, I think it's okay to accept this trade, and we'll take Dustin May instead of Civale. I think that it's time to go ahead and call it. Where did he go? Where did they put him? He's in the MLB level. I don't want him there right now. We will give him more time to develop since he has struggled against MLB rosters. So put him in, and because he is ranked 79 overall, we will put him at the top, and he will continue developing down in AAA. At AAA this year so far, before he was called up to the bigs, he was throwing for a 1.84 ERA and a 1.02 whip. So yeah, hopefully he can remain successful down there and develop for us. We do take the final game in the Chicago series 6-4 with 13 hits. The offense woke back up. Josh Lowe and Jose Siri both go yard today, and Jose Siri drives in 3. He was the major contributor, and pitching seems to have mostly gotten back in order. Jeffrey Springs does give up 4, but the rest of the relief is great, and Fairbanks picks up save number 18. So that is another series win now. Baltimore and Chicago both fall to us, but we've got the Atlanta Juggernauts up next. 47-21 right now, and this is going to be a challenge. No, Yu Chang. Yu Chang is now injured, 1 to 2 weeks out with a pulled hamstring. It just never ends. I don't understand this. Wow, and a 13-8 loss in Atlanta. Jeez, man. We get 12 hits and 3 walks, and normally you can win a game when you score 8, but not in Atlanta. Not today, at least. Wow. What about the pitching? How did they do? Garrett Hampson stole a base. Zach Littell actually did have a really good game, but Sean Armstrong really screwed it. And Kevin Kelly with the loss even further behind him. Rasmussen as well. Clevenger and Adam, the only ones that are not really touched. So, for the most part, it all came off the rails here versus Atlanta. Unbelievable, man. Game 2 is going to get McClanahan to start versus Huascar. Oh, God. Maybe that's... I shouldn't even try it. Forget it. Okay. Anyways, we take a loss. 3 to 4, it's much more close and respectable. And we get 9 hits with 3 walks today. Harold Ramirez 2 for 4, Yandy Diaz 2 for 4, and Josh Lowe 2 for 3, and picks up 2 more stolen bases. So he might actually be the leader now. I don't know. McClanahan has a bad game. Relief strong behind him. And I got to see it. We got to check on our boy Josh. Where are the steals at? He's got 22, and that is enough. Josh Lowe is the official stolen base leader in all of Major League Baseball. How exciting. We'll move on to scouting again. We did the regions just as a reminder, and we will continue to do regions while changing up slightly. I'm not going to highlight players from here because we just get very limited progress, but just know we are still continuing to look. So 2 losses and scouting are now in the books, and geez, the Biscuits in Double-A. Okay, just going to auto-fix that. And also the lineup in Double-A auto-fix. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. And that's another loss. We get swept by Atlanta. That doesn't feel good. They're now 50 and 21, and we are back to 500 baseball. Garrett Hampson with a good day. 3 for 4, and Francisco Mejia 3 for 4 as well. Another stolen base for Hampson. Eflin does have a quality start, and Jason Adam gets credited with the loss because he allowed in 2 later in the game. So just really not much to be proud of there. Man, it's just a tough stretch that we're on so far. Minnesota Twins are 43 and 30, so they look to be a challenge as well that we hope to conquer, and Taj Bradley gets the start. And we do indeed take game 1 8-5. We mustered up 15 hits and 8 walks. What an incredible offensive day that was. Holy crap. Yandy goes 4 for 5. Josh Lowe goes 4 for 5. Richie Palacios goes 3 for 5 with 5 RBIs himself. Definitely the MVP of this game. Josh gets another stolen base. Taj had a good game. And Jason Adam again. What's going on with him now? Jeez. Colin Pache gets another hold. Rasmussen gets credited with the win. And Fairbanks closes without the save. So game 2, we'll see Jeffrey Springs versus Bailey Ober, who's had a pretty decent season. How does game 2 shake up? Another friggin' injury. Oh my gosh. Damaged knee cartilage in Double-A. I've absolutely had enough of these injuries. I can't even process. I am unable to can. What is happening? Why is everyone getting hurt? It's like these other teams are beating our guys up after the games. And we'll take a narrow loss there, 1-2 in game 2. Back to 500 once more. 8 hits, 2 walks. Not much going on, but Garrett Hampson goes 2 for 5, the only guy with multiple hits. And he's now batting .309 for his average. That's cool. Here's another stolen base for Hampson and Josh Lowe. Jeffrey Springs with a good game, and Phil Maton finally has some good relief. So we have split the series now, and it's coming down to Zach Littell versus Pablo Lopez, who looks to have a great season so far. Can Littell remain strong against him? I don't know. We'll save that for next time. Now we're going to take a look at the roster, and oh no. No. There's 10 notifications about moves. People are getting called up. People getting sent down. Oh no. My auto-fix. It did come back to bite me. This is going to be a disaster to sort through. Oh my goodness. 10 different call-ups and send-downs. What the hell did the computer do? Oh no. They have evened out the entire rosters, but wow, we're going to have to sort through that next time. Holy crap. DeLuca and Shenton have been called up to the MLB level. And, oh, man, this is going to take some sorting out. Episode 6 is going to be a mess, so buckle in, folks. That's going to do it for this episode as we go back to 500 baseball, 37 and 37. Some real ups and downs in this episode, but hopefully episode 6 can get us back onto the road to success as we try to sort out that roster mess. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you soon.